Well, good morning, guys, from the Carnival Miracle, and figuring I'd do a vlog on what a typical day on an Alaska 14-day journeys cruise, a sea day. What a sea day was like. So instead of vlogging every single sea day, I just thought I would do one and give you a good sampling of the kind of activities you can expect. So let's go check it out. So first up is a deck nature walk with one of the naturalists on board up on the Lido. So let's go ahead and head on up there, shall we? Okay, guys, back at the cabin. So what you saw in the video up there, basically I'll just go ahead and give you the verbal play-by-play. So went up for the nature walk on the Lido deck, and basically Steve, the naturalist, showed up, and I was thinking it was just going to be him giving a lecture, but it turns out it's literally a walk around the ship into different locations, and you're supposed to bring your binoculars, and he gives you pointers on how to use the binoculars, how to spot different species, what species you're going to see, what they look like, where you're going to see. It gives a lot of tips and all that, but you're out and walking in the weather, and as you can see, I didn't bring my knit cap, I didn't have my binos, just really wasn't very prepared. So I stuck in there for a little bit, but it was very cold, and I know you guys are probably saying, well, gee, what'd you expect? You went on an Alaska cruise, did you not expect it was going to be cold? Man, that's fair, but like I say, I thought it was going to be a lecture, him staying in one spot, just giving us a bunch of pointers and highlights, things like that. But, that's just the way it goes. But on to the next event. Okay, and the next event, according to the schedule, is the Military Appreciation Gathering down in the Phantom Theater. So come along and let's check it out.
To our Military Appreciation Gathering. I'm Leanne, your cruise director, and this is a special event because we are just taking a few moments to stop and say thank you to all those who have served or who are currently serving. So thank you for being here, whether you're military personnel or if you're just here to say thank you. I want to say that, all right? Military family. My grandpa was in the Army. He served in World War II. My dad was in the Army, tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. And my uncle is currently over at Lackland Air Force Base. So I grew up with that military ID, which just makes this moment so much more special, and I love to share it with you, I really do. But also I tell you that because I have Army and I have Air Force in my family. So sometimes I know that there's a little bit of a sibling rivalry between branches. Is that true? Yes. In the end, it doesn't matter because we are one united nation and we all stick together no matter what, right? But sometimes, isn't it kind of fun to lean into that sibling right? Just sometimes, just a little bit. We like to play around, we're all family, right? So what we're gonna do today is we are going to honor all of the branches that you see up here on this screen. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna have some fun, we're celebrating today. When we get to each branch, if you've served in that branch or if you have loved ones that served or are currently serving in that branch, I want you to stand up or make some noise and make yourself known, and let's see which one can be the loudest and the proudest.
having a wonderful cruise vacation. We're grateful that you've chosen to attend this special tribute to honor those on board who have served or are currently serving in the military. It's always one of my favorite things to do when I'm on a Carnival cruise, and it's a guest favorite as well. We're privileged here at Carnival to have more active and retired military service members choosing to sail with us over any other cruise line for their much-deserved vacation. I have personally witnessed the honor and dedication of military men and women and the sacrifices made by their families.
You know, I always appreciate those, the military appreciation events that Carnival puts on. You know, they're always pretty inclusive of all the branches, all the different veterans of the different wars. And, you know, they always recognize family members. And, you know, they even, you know, in this one, they recognize the, you know, veterans of other foreign militaries, which I thought was kind of neat. So, you know, I really think it's a good thing. I hope that Carnival keeps it up. You know, it's always good to take time out to recognize certain individuals, and you know, me being a veteran, it means a lot to me. And so yeah, I just hope you guys, if you haven't been to one of those and you're a veteran, a family member, go check it out. It's a free event. And also, which was something a little bit different that I noticed for this one, is when you went into the theater, they scanned everybody's cards, you know, well, their room keys, and you know, everybody got entered into a giveaway for a free cruise. So I think that was pretty cool. But yeah, so the next event we're going to go to is the Whales Alive lecture from the naturalist Steve. You know, Carnival, you know, pays these people to come on board and give lectures and tips on how to spot different forms of wildlife, how to use your binoculars, things like that, which I think is pretty cool. It's an educational thing that they provide, and you know, so let's go check it out.
Saw a few boats. Don't worry, if you weren't there this morning, we will have ample opportunity. And for those of you who were there, what are we looking for? Can we tell the other guests? What do you need to look for? Yeah, you're going to look for this little puff of smoke coming up off the water. And that column for a humpback whale can be anywhere from 8 to 10 feet tall. Now, of course, we may be a mile away. It won't seem like that. But it can be taller than me coming off of this whale. And that's what we're looking for, this spout of water. That water comes out of its nostrils. It has a blowhole that we'll talk about on the top of its head. It can come out of there at almost 200 miles an hour. And this 10-foot column of smoke coming off the water, that's what you're looking for. And you know how much water is in that? Camera without the camera. If you see kind of that glow, use your camera and give it a little bit of exposure and see what happens. And you might get a pretty cool picture. Or something where you can at least say, oh yeah, I saw the northern lights. No. This is all about exposure. Somebody asked if the binoculars would help with it, and no, they don't. This is something where you have to use your camera and give it a little bit of an exposure. But that's what you'll be looking for with the naked eye. And if you see that, just snap a picture and just play around with that and see what you get. There are probably some people on the ship that will be out there as well who have done this, and if you're doing it for the first time, and they can help you out with that. All right. This animal right here, this is the humpback. Blue whales are down in Newport Beach, Long Beach, where we left. These are the ones that are going to be the most common, and we might see fin whales as well. Here, and we'll talk more about these. And of course, which whale up there is everybody hoping to see? Can you see it? That one right there, our orca. Everybody is looking for that guy. Those are seal bladders. They would fill those up with air. They were attached to these harpoons, and the harpoons were made out of bone, typically. And they would go out in their kayaks, and they would hunt these whales. Up here, they're hunting pretty much beluga whales, and some bowhead whales as well. And they would spear those. The spear would land in the whale. The whale would try to dive, but it couldn't do that very easily because it would have these floats and eventually retire. But this Inupiat might follow that whale for a couple of days until they were able to land that whale. Currently, now, 200 years later, there are 11 whales. When it began, it was designed from, this is the commercial whaling. It was used to harvest whales for fuel, industrial lubricants, and baleen. And during the 1800s, if you landed at one of these ports, such as Lahaina maybe for instance, this is what those ports would look like. New Bedford and Nantucket were the two main whaling communities or whaling ports on the East Coast. But that's what that would look like, and all those barrels are filled with whale oil. Hundreds of thousands of them. $1 billion industry. And it just continued to peak. It continued to peak right around here about 1856, so forth. And then it was shortly after that it had a pretty dramatic decline. Here. So this is big, big business. The peak season was right around the 1850s, 1860s. There were almost 3,000 bowhead whales that were killed. Never reached that point again. Ships carried back over 100,000 barrels of whale oil, 5.5 million pounds of whale bone. Sperm whales, the northern Pacific right whales, and bowhead whales never recovered their numbers, and they still have not. The only populations that have begun to recover are the blue whales that are found in the southern part off of Southern California, that population there, and the humpback whales have also made a recovery. And
something like that. I will be out. I'm just showing you how to do it. Okay, let's start this here. Okay, buddy. Oh, we have only 300 left. Okay, let's continue. That was for you, Leah. I'm gonna go for you. That's it. Oh, next round, next person.
All right, that's that. Just in case you didn't know, that was Steve. That was giving the lecture. He's the naturalist on board, and he was also the person that was doing the nature walk this morning out on the Lido deck. And you know, he's definitely a very approachable guy. You know, you don't have to be worried about, you know, whether or not you're bothering him or anything. I mean, that's his whole function, is to be here to interact with the guests. And you can tell he's got a wealth of knowledge on pretty much anything Alaska related, wildlife related, and you know, that's what's cool about you know, these Alaska cruises that Carnival's do, the Alaska Journeys cruises. It seems like they're putting a lot into educating the cruisers. You know, when you're down in the Caribbean and you're going to Cozumel or Grand Cayman or places like that, a lot of times you're just kind of floating along, you know, doing your thing, hitting the hot tubs, hitting the bars, whatnot, eating food, and just kind of lounging, you know, resting, like what you should. Nothing against that, but a lot of times you're not getting a lot of education on the different countries and stuff you're visiting. So I think this is pretty cool. Really enjoying all the different activities that the Carnival's got in store. But yeah, you know, I hope you guys enjoyed that little sneak peek. So, and then after that, I think that we got another lecture on Juneau. So let's go.
10 p.m. So in front of your map, you can write 9 a.m. until 10 p.m. We are going to dock the ship. It's just a 6-minute walk from the town. What you need to remember is when you get up, do you know what? You're going to get an amazing picture. You're going to get an amazing selfie of the Carnival Miracle sailing off into the background. And the bears have just woke up, and last year there was a couple of occasions when it got to like 9, 10 at night, and there was a mama bear and her cubs walking down the street. Yeah, so you might even see up to 8 hours throughout the day. It glows in the dark. It's not dark in here. Again, I don't know why you're laughing, but what I want you to do is to find me somewhere this week after Juneau, maybe Juneau night. Take me to a dark corner. I will show, or closet. I'll show you my totem pole floating in the dark. You're going to give out from Milano, and the final one is Alexandrite for all my June babies. Everyone shops for Alexandrite in Alaska because before Alaska was a state, we used to trade Alexandrite for land up here. The only name you need is Mark Henry. Now you're going to need tour guides, VIP cards, checklists, and yourselves. And when you're shopping local Alaska, we've partnered with a small business development committee to promote. It's got a little diamond in it for good luck too. But when you tell them you're in Sam's Club, whose club are you in? Sam's Club! In Monarch, family owned and only in Alaska, they're going to give you the 6-carat Northern Lights Topaz for free, and it's only $139. This is why everybody shops in Alaska. Another must-see brand is Fope, stretchy 18-carat gold, which you'll find there too. There's no clasps for ladies, it just rolls on the wrist. What I'll do is I'll tell you the name of the person you need to ask for in Monarch. Is that alright? So grab your Juneau maps, it's the only one you have in front of you. Grab your Carnival souvenir pencil, feel free to keep it.
Okay, folks, that was Sam the Insider, Carnival Insider. And he was giving the Juneau highlights talk, which I guess, I don't know, I guess I was thinking it was something else. I thought it was going to be more like the naturalist guy again, but it was Sam the Carnival Insider. And basically, he was giving all the shopping, eating, sightseeing tips for Juneau. Even though we're hitting Sitka tomorrow, we won't hit Juneau until the day after tomorrow. But anyway, it was kind of useful. He's kind of giving the ins and outs for people, if they hadn't been to Juneau before, telling them the good places to shop, good place, recommended places to eat, things of that nature. And, it's one of those deals where he gives you like a discount code that you can use at some of the stores like Diamonds International or stuff like that. But yeah, that was that concludes the sampling of activities to do on a sea day here on the Carnival Miracle. Hopefully kind of clued you in if you're one of those people that's never been on a cruise before and you're curious about what goes on these sea days or on these cruises. Well, that was just a little sampling. It certainly wasn't all inclusive, not anywhere close. I mean, there was all kinds of activities. They had axe throwing, they had ballroom dance classes, they had an art class where they provide the materials and you make your own piece of art that you can take home. They have a caricature artist, the people that do like little cartoonish sketches of people. They had one of those on board. They had an airplane throwing contest. They had a shipbuilding contest. I mean, just there's no way that anybody could do all the activities on a day in the schedule. There's just no way. But it's good that they have so much stuff for a little bit of something for everybody. So that that's why I always tell people, when you go on a cruise, don't feel pressured that you got to try to do everything, because there's no way you can. So, but anyway, we'll wrap that wrap this video up, and we'll be pulling into Sitka tomorrow. So keep an eye out for the vlog on Sitka. I don't have an excursion booked for it, so I'm just gonna walk around and see what I can get into. But I will definitely share it with you. And at some point there will be a ship tour of the Carnival Miracle that I'll put out. But you know, as always, if you like this video, if you found it informative, useful, you know, consider hitting the thumbs up on the way out. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. It helps the channel grow, helps get the message out to the masses. I appreciate anybody that watches, subscribes, likes, shares, comments, and I hope you're having a good day. Hope you're enjoying whatever it is you're doing. And as this video ends, we'll fade out with a shot from my balcony. So take care, everybody, and I will see you on the next video.